I was just looking at my calendar this morning, and honestly, I had this sudden feeling of panic.
Oh, I know that feel.
Right. Like another whole month has just completely vanished.
Yeah, it just slips away.
It does. I mean, when I was a kid, a summer felt like it lasted a whole lifetime.
Oh, absolutely.
But now, in my 30s, time is just flying by in this huge blur. It gives me a lot of anxiety, to be honest.
That makes total sense. It feels like you're somehow losing control of your own life, right?
Exactly. It's so confusing. Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to the Inquiry Talks. I'm Emma.
And I'm Max.
Today, we are doing a deep dive into something that affects all of us, time, and how our brains might actually be lying to us about it.
They definitely are lying to us.
We have some really cool sources today, like cognitive neuroscience studies and psychology research. But our mission isn't just to talk about that weird feeling of getting older.
Right.
We want to actually figure out why it happens and maybe learn how to slow things down.
I think that's a great goal for this deep dive.
Because there is this really strange contradiction I deal with every day.
What do you mean?
Well, why does a boring 30-minute meeting at work feel like it takes 5 hours?
Oh, yeah.
The worst.
But then I sit on my couch and scroll on my phone and boom, 3 hours are just gone in a flash. Is my brain just broken?
No, your brain is definitely not broken. It's actually working exactly how it's supposed to.
Really? Because it feels broken.
I get that.
Yeah.
But I think the best place to start is by changing how we think about time. We usually think time is just a clock on the wall, right?
Yeah, just ticking away.
Right. But biologically, time isn't like that. It's something your brain actually builds.
Builds. It creates time.
Exactly. It's an active experience. Let me explain it this way. If you want to see something, what do you use?
My eyes.
Right. And if you want to hear music?
My ears.
But we don't have a specific organ for time.
Wait, really? Nothing at
Or
all?
no single time organ. No. Instead, your brain uses a whole team of different parts to stitch the feeling of time together. Oh, wow. I never thought about that.
Yeah, the research mentions parts like the basal ganglia, which is deep in the brain, and that tracks things like seconds and minutes.
Okay.
And then there's the cerebellum at the back of your head, which handles the super fast stuff, like, catching a glass before it hits the floor.
Right, those split-second reactions. So it's a team effort.
Exactly. But to explain how this team tracks a whole hour, scientists use a really simple idea. They call it the pacemaker and accumulator model.
Okay, those are big words. What does that actually mean?
Let's break it down. Imagine a tiny machine inside your head that just makes regular ticks. Tick, tick, tick. That is the pacemaker.
Okay, I have a ticking machine in my head. Got it.
And right next to that machine is a bucket. That is the accumulator. The bucket collects all the ticks.
Okay, so the machine ticks and the bucket catches them.
Exactly. And when you want to know how much time has passed, your brain just looks inside the bucket.
So if there are a lot of ticks in the bucket, it feels like a long time.
You got it. And if the bucket is mostly empty, it feels like it was super fast.
Okay, that makes sense. But why does the bucket get full during a boring meeting, but stay empty when I'm on my phone?
Because of attention. Attention is like a gate between the ticking machine and the bucket.
A gate?
Yeah. When you are sitting in a super boring meeting, you weren't paying attention to the work. You're just thinking, when is this going to end?
Oh, so I'm paying attention to the time itself.
Exactly. So the gate is wide open. Every single tick falls right into the bucket.
Wait, so it's exactly like the saying, a watched pot never boils.
Yes. That is the perfect analogy.
Wow. If I stare at the water, my brain is collecting every single second.
Right, the bucket fills up fast, and the time drags on.
But if I walk away to do something fun, like playing a game or watching a video, it boils instantly.
Because you are distracted, the gate closes. The machine is still ticking, but the ticks bounce off the closed gate.
Oh, so they never make it into the bucket.
Exactly. Very few ticks fall in. So when your brain checks the bucket later, it's almost empty.
And it thinks, oh, it's only been 5 minutes, even though it's been 3 hours.
You nailed it. That's the attention gate.
That is so crazy. Okay, I accept the watched pot idea for, daily stuff like meetings and scrolling.
Okay.
But,
What about when I'm really scared?
oh, that's a great question.
Because, if someone slams their car brakes right in front of me, everything goes into super slow motion.
It really does.
But I'm not thinking about time in that moment. My attention is totally on the car crash.
Yeah.
So shouldn't the gate be closed? Shouldn't time fly?
By the normal rules, yes. But emergencies override the normal rules. It's about emotions and survival.
Okay, how does that work?
When you are in danger, your brain gets flooded with fear and adrenaline. And that adrenaline actually changes the ticking machine itself.
Wait, It changes the machine.
Yeah. It speeds the pacemaker up massively.
Mhm.
Instead of going tick, 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 it goes crazy fast to gather as much information as possible.
But help me survive. Exactly. Your brain is suddenly taking 1,000 pictures a second instead of 20. It notices the steering wheel, the sound of the tires, the smell of the smoke.
Wow. So it's cramming tons of details into the bucket all at once.
Right. And later, when the event is over, your brain looks at all that heavy, detailed data and thinks, wow, that must have taken a long time to happen.
Because the file is so huge, that is fascinating. It's like a survival trick.
It is. And it's not just fear that does this. Dopamine does it too.
Dopamine,
Uh,
like the happy chemical.
Yeah. When you are having a really good time, eating great food or laughing with friends, you get bursts of dopamine.
And what does that do to the machine?
Studies show that sudden bursts of dopamine actually make the ticking machine slow down.
Oh, so it makes fewer ticks.
Exactly. So your bucket has way fewer ticks, and you underestimate how much time has passed.
Which is why our really fun Saturday night just feels like it ends in 5 minutes.
Exactly. The chemical literally warps your internal clock.
Wow. Okay, so that covers hours and minutes, but I need to ask you about the big one.
Let's hear it.
The age shift. Why is my whole year speeding by now that I'm older? Because it's really stressing me out.
I completely understand that. And our sources actually have two main theories for this.
Okay, what's the first one?
The first one is pretty simple. It's just math. They call it the proportional theory.
Math. I'm not great at math, but okay.
It's easy, I promise. Think about when you were 5 years old. 1 year was 20% of your whole entire life.
Oh, right. That's a huge chunk of time compared to what I've lived.
Exactly. But now, let's say you're 50. A single year is only 2% of your life.
Right, because I have so many more years behind me.
So compared to everything you've experienced, 1 year feels mathematically much smaller.
Okay, that makes logical sense. But it doesn't really explain why the year feels so empty.
Right. And most scientists agree that the math theory isn't enough. Which brings us to the second theory.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's about neural adaptation, or what we can call having fewer firsts.
Firsts, like doing things for the first time.
Exactly. Think about a child. A kid is basically an alien on a brand new planet.
That's a funny way to put it, but it's true. Everything is totally new.
Right. A new dog, a new food, a new game. Because everything is a first, the brain has to use a ton of energy to process it.
Because it doesn't know what to expect.
Exactly. So it records very rich, dense memories. The bucket is getting filled with heavy data, just like in the car crash.
So a childhood summer feels long because the brain is recording every single detail.
Yes. But adults are different. We live in routines.
Oh, I see where this is going.
We drive the same way to work. We eat the same breakfast. We look at the same computer screens.
Yeah, every single day.
And your brain is smart.
Yeah.
It wants to save energy. So it realizes, hey, I've driven this road 1,000 times. Nothing new is going to happen.
So what does it do?
It stops recording. It basically goes on autopilot.
Wait, what?
Yeah. It just ignores the mundane details to save energy.
So because I just do the exact same routine every single day, my brain doesn't even bother hitting the record button.
Exactly. It doesn't encode the memory.
That is, wow. That's why my year feels completely empty when I look back.
Yes. When you try to remember February, your brain looks in the bucket, finds no new memories, and assumes the month must have passed in a flash.
That makes me feel really sad, honestly.
It's a harsh truth.
It really is. Am I just doomed to have the rest of my life speed by like a fast-forward button?
Absolutely not. You can actually fight back against this.
Really? How?
The scientific solution is novelty. You have to break the routine.
So force the brain to start recording again.
Exactly. When you do something unfamiliar, your brain's autopilot fails.
Yeah.
It has to wake up and pay attention.
What kind of things? Like, do I have to move to a new country?
No. It can be small. Take a completely different route to the grocery store. Talk to a stranger. Try a new hobby.
Just give the brain something it hasn't seen before.
Right. And there is one emotion that is actually a super weapon for this.
Ooh, what is it?
Awe.
Ah, like feeling amazed by something.
Yes. The feeling of awe. Like standing at the edge of the ocean or looking at a huge mountain or even looking through a telescope at the stars.
Oh, I love that feeling. It makes you feel so small, but in a good way.
Exactly. Studies show that when people experience awe, their sense of time actually expands. They feel like they have more time available.
Why is that?
Because awe is so huge and complex that your brain cannot use autopilot. It has to take in every single detail.
So it completely fills the memory bucket with brand new data, and it pulls you right into the present moment.
That's beautiful. It's like the ultimate cure for the adult routine.
It really is. But we also need to talk about the opposite of awe, the thing that traps us in autopilot the most. Are you talking about our phones?
Yeah. The social media trap. The psychology research highlights this as a major problem for our perception of time.
I mean, I know it steals my time, but how does it work in the brain?
Well, think about the bouncer at the gate we talked about earlier. When you scroll through short videos, the app gives you tiny hits of dopamine, just enough to keep you staring at the screen.
So the gate closes and time flies by in the moment.
Right, that's the first half of the trap, but what's the second half?
Let me guess. The videos aren't actually meaningful, so the brain doesn't record them?
Exactly. Scrolling doesn't challenge your brain. There are no rich emotional memories being made.
Oh, wow. So I lose the 3 hours while I'm doing it. Andy, I have no memory of it the next day.
It creates a complete temporal void, a blank space in your life.
That completely explains that horrible, stressful feeling on a Sunday night, when you realize you did nothing, remember nothing, and the weekend is just over.
Yes, that feeling of wasting the day.
So time management isn't really about organizing my calendar or buying a better planner. It's about memory management.
That is the perfect way to look at it.
So the secret to a longer life isn't necessarily living more years. I mean, that's great, but it's really about making the years we have feel longer by filling them with firsts.
You summarize that beautifully. We just have to force our minds to stay awake.
Wow. I am definitely going to change my route to work tomorrow. And maybe leave my phone in another room.
Small changes make a big difference.
This has been so eye-opening. And honestly, it makes me feel so much better. Like I have some control again.
Time isn't just a rigid force that happens to us. That is the final thought I want to leave everyone with.
Okay, I'm listening.
It is something our brains dynamically create to help us survive and learn, which means if we actively change our experiences, we literally change the fabric of our time.
Wow. If we change our experiences, we change our time. That is an incredibly empowering thought.
It really is.
Well, if you like this kind of talk, you can stay with us. We'll be here next week with another deep dive into the mind. See you then.